Back in 2015, I wrote the original Financial Wellbeing Book. Since then, I've studied a lot about financial well-being, the relationship between money and happiness, and have therefore produced the new book, The Four Cornerstones of Financial Wellbeing. The first of these four cornerstones is the general truths. What is true of all of us? We would all feel better if we get a hug from a loved one, for example. There's lots of research about happiness that's been happening over the last few decades, but also if you go back centuries, 2,500 years, Buddha sat in a grove of trees and worked it all out. Other religions, the Greek philosophers, philosophy through the ages, there's lots that we know is true of all of us about what makes us happy, and in particular, the relationship to what makes us happy to money. To give just one simple example, research shows us that somebody who sees money as an objective in life will be less happy than they would otherwise be, because those values sit in opposition to values of things like spending time with loved ones and of self-worth. In fact, self-worth, internal and external, is a really big issue. And one of the things that we might say that you should do is to try and focus more on your self-worth and less on your net worth. But it's also about how we spend our money can make us happy. For example, I think it's been known for a while now that if we spend our money on buying stuff, that gives only a short term of hit of happiness. But if we spend that same money on buying experiences, then that creates two things. Firstly, memories, which are much longer lasting, and also something to talk about, something that we can share with each other every time we meet. So spending money on experiences, maybe buying tickets for Christmas presents rather than buying stuff, is a much better way of generating well-being. The book's got lots and lots of suggestions. It gives you lots and lots of information about why we're rubbish with money when you think about it. So we've only actually had to work on our own financial planning or take responsibility for our financial futures in the last 4 decades or so, in the entire history of humanity. The book will explain more about that and explain why we're simply not wired to make good financial decisions. So that's the first of the four cornerstones of financial well-being.